What's up, guys? Welcome to the Hit Show. Last week, I spoke about how to get started in real estate investments, and apparently, a lot of you guys enjoyed it. So, this week, I'm going to stay in real estate and I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics and most controversial topics, which is why I don't think it's a good idea to buy your primary residence, especially if you're just getting started in your career. Now, let's say you started working, you work hard, you save money and you have enough for a down payment to buy a primary residence. And you decide that you're just going to take a leap of faith and just go ahead and buy that house or that apartment. Let's say that house or apartment is $1 million. Now, $1 million is a lot of money, of course, but in New York City, where I live, that's a pretty average price point. So I'm going to go with that just for the sake of this example. And at a $1 million, you put 20% to 25% down payment, which is going to be your equity into the deal. So that's $200,000 to $250,000. And then you're going to finance the rest, $750,000 to $800,000. Now, the number one reason why I don't think it's a good idea is that the $200,000 that you put in is dead equity. What does dead equity mean? That means that that money is not earning any income. It's not invested, it's sitting in your house and it's just there and you can't use it. Yes, you're using your house and you're enjoying a home for yourself, but you're not able to do anything with that money. So that's called dead equity. And that's the primary reason why I would say that's not a good idea early on. Later in your career, you make tons of money and you want to buy a house. I think that's something that you should definitely do, but not early on. Number two, opportunity cost. So opportunity cost means that money that you put into your house, this dead equity that we just spoke about, could be used to be invested somewhere else and to earn money on that money. $200,000 and $250,000 could be either put into the stock market and you invest in stocks, in bonds, and you get returns on those stocks, appreciation, you sell for capital gains, or you could put it as a down payment and leverage, get a mortgage, and buy real estate for investment purposes this time and not as a primary residence. That money will produce income for you that will pay for your mortgage, and hopefully you'll have some left over as residual cash flow. So that's the number two reason, and I think that's a very important one. Number three reason is less flexibility. And again, we're always talking about early on in your career, in your 20s. You're working and you're making enough money and you want to buy a house. But if you buy a house, you tie yourself down to one place. Let's say you live in Los Angeles and you get a job offer in San Francisco. You can't just pick up and leave when you bought a primary residence. You have to do a bunch of stuff, sell it, put it on the market to rent. Well, if you get an offer and you're renting, then you can just pick up and leave and you're not tied down to one place and you have a lot of flexibility. So I think flexibility is definitely something that people should consider when they're just getting started. And number four, and this one I love, and a lot of real estate investors like this one, is buying a primary residence gives you less favorable tax treatments. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know that mortgage interest is deductible whether it's on a primary residence or an investment property. But on a primary residence, that mortgage interest is deductible up to $750,000 of loan amount. On an investment property, the mortgage interest is not capped. The amount is not capped. You could own a $5 million investment property, a $10 million investment property. If you have a loan on it, the mortgage is entirely deductible. The second thing that you have a less favorable tax treatment on is maintenance and expenses. In your house, when you live as a primary residence, you can't write off all those expenses. You can't deduct them because you live in the house. When it's an investment, you actually have the ability through the tax code to write off all your expenses. The number three thing is you do not get depreciation on a primary residence. However, you get that depreciation on an investment property. Depreciation is a very complex topic and we're not going to get into it now. We'll do that in another video, but you can depreciate over 27 years the value of your home at about 3.5% to 4% a year. and that money goes towards your taxable income. That deduction goes towards your taxable income. Anyway, we're not going to get too deep into this. Obviously, here I'm talking about a lot of financial and tax advice, and I don't want to be giving advice as I'm not a professional when it comes to taxation. So obviously, for everything that I say, consult your financial advisor and your tax consultant, and make sure that you get the proper advice before implementing any of the things that I say. But this sums it up. I think that this is a very fascinating topic. If you disagree with me, you can comment below and just let me know. Tell me why you think that it's a good idea to buy a primary residence. And I'm happy to have a conversation and get a debate going. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting a lot on here, a lot of good content, and feel free to share with your friends. And I hope to see you soon on another video. Thanks a lot and have a great day.